Khair, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Good morning, students. Welcome back to another session with me. I'm your host, as usual, Abdul Rahman. And we are, as discussed previously, will be doing something different today. This is a part of a series of discussion in which we discuss the paper related to the ordinary levels, right? Let's start. We'll go to part 1, and in part 1, as promised, we are going to discuss activity number 6. Children, when you want to do something in activity 6, remember your writing skills come into focus here. When you speak about your writing skills, you can remember you have two things that are on main focus in your activity 6 or test number 6 of G.C.E. ordinary level paper. The first one being a note and the other is a notice. You can see that I have given the years. For example, you were able to see a note in 2018. Notice you were able to see in 2016, 17 and 19. So 3 years you saw notices where you had to complete some notices and write some notices. But in 2018 it was note. So I think, I'm just having a hunch, I'm just playing a hunch here, I'm not 100% sure. Maybe in 2020, when you are going to sit for the exam as children, you might get to write a note. I'm not sure, I'm just suggesting, right? So you might get to write a note, or it might be a notice, whatever. But we should be prepared for both, right? Right, let's see for how the marking scheme is organized in this case. You can see, children, the marking scheme according to what you according to the marks that you get 2 marks for the content. So content means what you write. For example, if you take a notice, you will see they will tell you, okay, write this, write that, who is the host, what is the time, what is the venue, and where is it held, and what is the message that you are going to give to your participants, attendants or something like that. So everything comes under content. So however much you write, it may be 100, 200, 300 or even the required amount. The maximum marks that could be allocated for the content or what you write is only 2. So you do not have to write more and more. Just remember the word limit, which may be usually around 50 to 60 words. So write something within that. And then your language. If you take your language, remember, children, for language you get 3. So what does we mean here by language? Language in this case we means language proficiency or your fluency in your language. You may be very fluent in your language, but when you write you might get some errors, such as like is it is or is it are, something like grammatical errors or some semantic errors or something where you make some deliberate spelling mistakes. Okay, so those things should be avoided. So if you do not get 2 marks for the content, less than 2, we cannot give you full marks for the language. Remember that. If you do not get full marks for the content, you will not get full marks for the language. We will study about this later when we come to essays and other passages, short passages as well. So in test number 3, in test number 8 and also in test number 16, we will be going into this marking scheme further on. Right, let's dive in to the format of a note. Right, so you have to have a date, whatever the date that you are going to send it to, and you have a salutation. For example, to whom you are going to send it. In this case, I have chosen one of my friends by the name of Husni. I will be sending it to Husni, right? So dear Husni or something, and whatever the content that you have to write will be focused on to this place. And then you have the sender, which is me in this case, so Abdul. So remember, this is sort of the main structure of a note. So we do not expect you to say like the heading or Shamadana or something like that. So don't do that. I have seen students, when they write note, they write something like a huge letter. Hello, how are you? What's going on? How is your mother? How is your father? When will you come to our place? So those sort of things you do not have to write. Note is essentially something very small. For example, let's take a note in this case. Let's say that you are asked to write a note informing your mother that you will be late to come to your place as you have evening classes, right? Include the class, and let's say that and any other relevant stages, right? Now let's say something like this. You go to your school when your school start, and the teacher or the particular subject master, he informs you suddenly, okay children, today you have a class at 3 and we will continue the class up to 7 o'clock. Okay, he says that. What does he say? You have a class, it will start at 3 o'clock and it will continue up to 7 o'clock. That is the message that is given to you. So what will you do in this case? Usually you can make a call to your mother and then speak to your mother and say, okay, I have a class mama, or I have a class mother, or I have a class ma, I have a class amma. However you call your mother, it doesn't matter. You just call her and tell her, okay, I have a class, it will start at 3 o'clock and it will be over at 7 o'clock. So please send me lunch at 2 o'clock via somebody or some 3-wheeler or some way. If you don't have money, and you can tell her, okay, when you send this one, please also send these things, send my this book, that book. You can tell all these things, right? So when you are writing a note, we are going to follow that format, right? The first thing I told you is you have to write the date. Just assume that it is today. So today is, as you can see, 21st, so you will write 21st of July 2020, right? So it goes to the right side. Right. The next one, we are going to write dear Amma. Okay, I'll write dear Amma, or you can say dear Ma, whatever that you want. I'm just writing the way that I'm calling my mother, or you can say dear Ma or dear mother, it doesn't matter. Umma, Ummi, there are different ways that you call your mothers, right? Some people I heard they call them Ma, as I use, because I call my mother as Ma, so it goes just like Ma. Or some people call us Mama. Don't call your mother Mama, because Mama has a different sort of a meaning. It means uncle, right? So you say Mama, you can say that. Or you can say like different countries, Mom, or you can say Mother, or you can say Amma, then you can say Ammu. Some people I have seen calling them Ammu, isn't it? And sometimes they call with different names also, right? So whatever, it doesn't matter. I'm just going to write the generic term, which is mother. You're going to tell her straight away what is it about. I am going to be late to come back. Now what does it mean? I'm going to be late to come back. Now I'm going to teach you something else. This is about going to and will. Right, children? Let's keep it like that. I'm going to teach you what going to and will are. Right? Okay. So just bold it, underline it, then make it a bit bigger, so that we'll be able to understand what is going on. Right. Now you should understand, children, the use of going to and will. Both of these essentially means that we speak about future. Whatever that is happening in future is our focus here. So, but there is a difference. When you say going to, excuse me, I'm going to just something down. Right. I'll just put it back here so it's easy for you to understand. Right. When you say going to, it means it is oriented on a short term. I'm sorry, it's not short term, it's short term. What do you mean when you say short term? Short term means that in a very near future what is going to happen. For example, you can say it is going to rain. How do you know it is going to rain? Because outside it is cloudy as it is in the morning today. There is no sun or nothing outside, and you think because of the signs and the things that you see outside, it is going to rain. Or you can say, I am going to the barbers, or you can say beauty salon. It's up to you. I just prefer to use the word barber because that's how we use it in local terms. I'm going to the barbers. So when you say I'm going to the barbers, does it mean that you will be going in 10 years? No. It means that somewhere tomorrow, somehow tomorrow or today or day after tomorrow. So you get the idea, right? When you say going to, it means in a very short while. What is going to happen? Maybe within a week. But you do not say I am, this is wrong, I am going to be a doctor. You don't say I'm going to be a doctor, because if you want to be a doctor or a teacher or an engineer or whatever, you don't do it within like 1 hour or 2 days. You don't do that. So remember that you can't say I'm going to be a doctor. That is quite wrong. Remember that as well. If you want to say something that about your profession or something, you have to use another term. So let's look at will. Will can be used for short term and long term stuff, but usually we use it for long term, right? In long term, how do we say that? We will say I will be a doctor one day. So maybe this is your what do you call, dream to be a doctor or something. But I suggest that you look for other jobs also, because there are other jobs which pays you more and which has more job security and which you might like to enjoy, which has less dedication. So as a younger generation, in this case maybe the millennial generation, right? You are all millennials. There are different fields that you can look into. So the traditional jobs come out of focus. For example, there was a time when we regarded if you are a doctor or an engineer, you might be the best or something in the world. But nowadays I find the millennials in this case, you have a different sort of an oriented job opportunity, and the way that you think is different. So look for other jobs as well. Just because you go down in your O-levels, it does not mean that you might not get good marks or you might not be successful one day. There are methods, right? So I'm not speaking about shortcut and illegal ways. I'm just telling, there are a lot of options to you right now, right? So we can say something else. You can say the teacher will give us an examination paper. So is it going to happen today? No. Is it going to happen tomorrow? No, because the school is closed, right? So when the school opens, she will give us an examination paper. So it, as the due to the current situation, I think it might take us like 1 or 2 weeks most probably. So in that case, it also is a long-term project. So I hope you understood this stuff, which is will and going to. If you didn't, I'll put the recording of this, the same thing. You may go through that again, right? Let's continue. I'm going to be late to come back. I have, let's say, an ICT class on, you can say like from, because that's the time limit, right? From 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. and then you can include, please send lunch at 2 p.m. Anything else that you want to give your mother? Maybe you might have to give something like please bring this book, that book, whatever that you want to give, you can give. And finally you can put your name. Let's say that I'm going to put my name. It's going to write Abdul. You don't have to say your loving son Abdul, because every mother loves your son. It doesn't matter. We can write like this. So let's come back to our topic in this case. Right? Let's take an example. Right. We are starting with 2018. So I will not be going through 2018 again, because this is essentially a note. You are interested in joining an English camp. So we are speaking about you essentially. So as a student, let's assume that you are interested in joining an English camp. Okay. Who are you going with? With your best friend after the examinations. So when your exams are over, you want to go, or you are interested to go to an English camp, and you would like to go with your best friend, not with your family or brother, but you're with your best friend. Okay. So what is essentially an English camp? So those who have visited, you might understand, this is sort of like an outdoorsy sort of adventurous camp. There are a lot of things that happen there, activities. It happens in English, and the activities are organized by the organizers, so that you might improve your English and also at the same time have fun and socialize with other people, and you might be able to communicate with others. Usually you should have to get the permission from your principal, and it usually involves in a time period where there is no school, which means during the weekends, maybe 2 days or 1 day, or in the morning till evening. You will go and stay in a place sort of like a camp, a make camp. It may be outside or it may be another school, and there what you would do is you would engage yourself in different sort of fun games and activities, and such as like hopscotch in English. I'm just telling you some rolling some ideas. Or you might have some to do play games in computer which has to do with your development of English. Of course, you can go to Play Store right now and download different games that will improve your grammar and stuff like that. Anyway, so these things happen in English camp. So let's say that you are interested, you want to improve your language fluency and proficiency and your accuracy on those sort of things, and you wish to do that with your best friend, right? You went to his or her place. Your best friend might be a male or a female, in this case a boy or a girl. So if it is a boy, you will say you went to his place. If it is a girl, you will say it's her place. Okay. Now let's say that my best friend is a boy in this case. So I'm going to use the word his all the time. Okay. But your friend was not at home. So maybe I went to see my friend. Let's assume that my best friend is Husni in this case. So I went to his place and he was not there, right? So write a note to be left at his letterbox. So we will see that there are at homes, there are places where you can put letters, letterboxes. So I'm writing a note and I'm going to put that into his letterbox, and I want to tell him about it. Tell what? I came to your house, I was not, but you were not there, and those sort of things. Use 40 to 50 words. Okay, this is the amount of words that you need to use. So what are the things that should be included? When you came, so I'm going to tell him at what time I came to his house. Why? What is the reason I went to his house? And ask him to call back. These things are enough, right? When I went there, and what is the reason that I came to his place, and I'm just going to tell him, please call me back, my friend, or something like that, right? Now, as this is about something that is in a very short period of time, you do not need to include a time. If you are writing a note which will be given and it will be responded after 1 week or 2 weeks, you can write a date here. If not, a date is not that essential, right? I'm going to write, dear Husni, I heard there is an English camp in our school after the examination. Okay? Because you can see an English camp after the examination. So I just got the news. So I'm just telling, I heard. Heard is the past tense of hear. When you say hear, when you say heard, both of them means that you have got the news. Somebody told you, or you found the information from somewhere, or you heard somebody speaking over with the other, or you saw the notice board. Whatever, you can use the word heard in this case. Heard means the past tense of hear, and you came to know, or you get the knows. There is an English camp in our school after the examination. Why did I say there is? Because it's not over yet. It is in the present. It might be there very soon. So I am interested in taking part in it with you, which means I am interested, okay, in taking part. That means I am interested in joining. Both of them have the same meaning. With you, see, with your best friend. So I'm just telling with you. I came to your house yesterday, but you weren't at home, isn't it? So I'm just writing the note telling him, I came to your house yesterday, but you weren't at home, but you were not there. Can you please call me and confirm it? Can you please call me and confirm? Confirm means, are you going to come with me or are you not going to come with me? Can you give me a solid answer so that I can arrange? So if you take this note, children, it's not a big note. I hope, inshallah, most of you would have grasped the concept on this. In this case, you can see when you came, I have told yesterday, right? Why did I come? I am interested in taking part in it with you. What English camp? So I'm just giving you the reason and ask him to call me. I'm saying, can you please call me and confirm it? Confirm it is addition of mine. So you can say, can you please call me? So I have included whatever that is needed here. There is no change in whatever that is needed. So I have included why and the reason to call back and when I came. So I will get 2 marks for that content. And if you see there is no spelling mistakes or there is no errors, capital symbols are fine, the names are in capital letters, I have put full stops, apostrophes, then question marks and left enough gaps between the stuff. So my language also looks pretty good in this case. So for this particular note, as examiners, we will be awarding you full marks because there is nothing to cut from it, right? And try to make the least amount of mistakes and try to break it into small sentences. If you combine a lot of sentences and put conjunction like and those sort of things, it's possible that you might miss, or it is possible that you might make a lot of mistakes. The reason is, children, as you are essentially a Sri Lankan and our mother tongue is maybe Sinhala or Tamil, right? So as our mother tongue is in Tamil or in Sinhala, we tend to think in Tamil or Sinhala. And when you want to convert that into English, some of us, what we do is we do a direct translation. When we do a direct translation, the problem comes with grammar. You don't know which grammar to use where and stuff like that. So it's all right. It's all right and completely normal to think in Tamil or Sinhala. But when writing, remember in your English paper to use at least some English. Right. Let's come back to the second stuff, which is a FAF in this case, a notice. Essentially, a notice, if you take, has these sort of parts. Now, remember, I have given you this format. It is not the only format. But as you do not have sufficient time to study different sort of formats and analyze those formats, I'm just giving you a sample or a template in this case as how you could do that and what are the things that you have to change. Whatever the note that you get, or in this case whatever the notice that you get, you can easily, I'm just telling, convert it into any format and do this. But my dear children, as markers of examiners or markers of your paper, we expect you, when you are writing a notice, to follow a paragraph sort of a format, which means something similar to this. So some people I have seen, when they write notice, they will write whatever the stuff and they will make it look like an advertisement, which means they will say time and something and date and something. So there will be different sort of gaps. But in this case, remember, what you will do is you will extract this information from the heading itself. If it is environment club, you can say the environment club. These bold letters you will not change, it will be there. Of, okay, what is the school that is there? Or we can say the environment club of let's say for example Al Arafa Muslim Vidyalaya, and has organized. Nothing is changing there. What have they organized here? Has organized, we can say here an English camp. Okay, it will be held on, there will be a date and there will be a time and there will be also a place. It will be held on, you can put the date here. I'm sorry, they should be changing. Okay, you can say like from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. in the main hall or something. And the message, you can give the message, for example, all grade 10 students are welcome, or you can say all grade 10 students are expected to participate, something like that. And the final word here, the sender, is usually or most of the time the secretary of the club. It doesn't usually change. You can say the secretary here. And whatever that you wrote in the first part, the name of the club, like environment club, you can write here as well. If you take an example, you'll be able to go through that, children. Don't worry, let's take an example here. Right. I'm going to start with the 2019 paper in this case. In 2019, you can see it says you are the secretary of the English Literary Association of your school. You have organized a singing competition in English. So see how easy it is. Write a notice inviting all grade 9 students to watch the events. You are going to invite them, grade 9. Use 40 to 50 words. You have to make up your date, time and place. It's up to you. Right, let us start. We are going to understand how this focus has come around. Right. First thing, I told you these bold color letters won't change, right? Right, let's start. You will write notice. And first we are going to write the name of the club or the association or the whatever that's given here. It says English Literary Association. So you are writing the English Literary Association. Okay. Of who is organizing? Of what? It says your school. So if you are from Al Arafa, you can say Al Arafa. If you are from something else, like you can say, like if you are from Ben Hill, you can say Ben Hill College. If you are from St. Mary's, you can say St. Mary's. If you are from Gamini Disanayaka, you can say Gamini Disanayaka. But remember to write the name of your school properly, right? So do not say of Gamini Disanayaka, or you don't say from Al Arafa or from Ben Hill. You have to write, for example, what is it? Al Arafa Muslim Vidyalaya, Gamini Disanayaka National School, okay? Ben Hill College, Gampala, something like that you have to write, right? So do remember that. Then you write has organized. What have they organized? A singing competition. So you can say a singing competition in English, it doesn't matter, or simply you can say a singing event, it doesn't matter, right? Then it will be held on, that's okay. Date, write your date. I have given a date. And at what is the time it is going to start? Where? In the school main hall. For example, if you are doing a Shramadana, you will not say the school main hall. That is wrong, because you can't have a Shramadana inside the main hall. You have to work outside. So you can say in the school. That is enough, right? So what is the message that you should give? Inviting all grade 9 students to watch the event, right? So you will say all students of grade 9 are invited to watch the event. All students of grade 9 are invited to watch the event. See, it's not that tough. It's very easy. Finally, secretary. And what is given here? The English Literary Association. We say the English Literary Association. So dear children, it's not that tough. It's quite easy. So once you have the practice of it as how to do it, you might be able to understand the stuff in a very easy way. So there are different practice activities that I had given previously. But before we go to the practice activities, I think we could start with some things that came in your examination. Right? Let's start with test number 6. It says you are the secretary of Young Photographers Club in your school. Okay, you are the secretary. And what is the club? Young Photographers Club. Where? In your school. and the members have organized an exhibition. So members means whom? You are, right? So essentially all of you have got together and organized an exhibition. When? At the term end. That is when it is over. Your teacher wants you to write a notice. So the teacher says, okay children, the club members come forward, write a notice to be put up on the school notice board. Okay, you want to write a notice and put it on the notice board. And what is the message? You are inviting the teachers and students to see the exhibition, and you have to give the date, you have to include the chief guest, you have to write what is given there as well, right? Let's go through that so that it will be easy for us. Let's do some activity here, right? I don't know, I think it got stuck somewhere in the middle. So until it comes back, right, let's take new page so that it's easy for us to start, right? So we can start as like this. It says you are the secretary of Young Photographers. Okay, you can say the Young Photographers Club, right? That's the first thing. Then you are writing of. I told you there's a word of. What is the school? I'm going to write Al Arafa Muslim Vidyalaya. Then has organized, right? What have they organized? Let's see. An exhibition at the term end. Okay, an exhibition at the term end. So you can write an exhibition at the term end. See, I'm just quoting what is given there. There's nothing new here. I'm just writing what has been given in the paper. There's nothing new. Full stop. Then you can write it will be held on. You can give a date. Essentially any date would do. You can see it will be held on, a date is given here, right? So if it is the term end, you can give any date that you want to. I'm just going to say like 18th of October 2020. As your school will be closing mostly on 6th, I'm going to say like 4th of October 2020 at, or you can say now remember there are two ways of writing. If the exhibition has a duration like starting from 8 AM to 5 PM, I can write like this: from 8 AM to 5 PM. I'm giving the time duration, right? And I'm going to tell where it is going to be held. In the school main hall. See, I'm just writing what is there. So I have written the first stuff, that's okay. And then who is organizing? The Al-Arafa Vidyalaya, and they have organized, and an exhibition is there at the term end. So all these things are quoted from the place. There is nothing new that I have written. I have only written, to be honest, this date, the time, and the place. That is the only thing that has been written in new, which means which has been included by me. The others are all given in the question itself. Now I'm going to write the message. All the teachers and the students what are we asking them to? Are we asking them to come? Yes, you want the teachers and students to see the exhibition. You are inviting, right? So you can invite them. How will you invite? You can just write all students are invited to see the exhibition, right? That's all. The main content is written now. Now you have to write who is writing this. You can say secretary, right? And secretary of what? The Young Photographers Club, isn't it? I'm just going to copy it and paste here because nothing is new in this case. young photograph plus. I'm going to put it into the other side. I'm going to change the alignment because that's how you write it. And as for heading, you can say, you can give a heading also. In this case, you can say notice. And this one, I'm going to bold it, underline it, and put it into the center. And now you can see, and we are going to discuss with you if this is correct or if this is not, right? So essentially both of these things would be taken into focus, right? The Young Photographers Club of Al Arafa Muslim Vidyalaya has organized an exhibition at the Terminal. I'm going to see, and we are going to discuss with each other whether this is correct, right? So if there is any mistakes, we are going to rectify that as well. Let's start with the question first. You are the secretary of Young Photographers Club. So it says apostrophe here, right? So I have to use that in the question as well. So remember. So photographers, apostrophe here. Now I'm going to teach you, or I'm going to discuss with you, what is this apostrophe for. Now let us take some examples of apostrophe. Now let's take some it's. I'm saying it's mine. And let's say this is it's, say, is mine. So when you say apostrophe s, in this case, it is the short form of whatever the be verb that is. You can say it may, there are many meanings for this. You can say it is mine, it was mine, it has mine, but you know that it has mine is not going to come, right? But logically you will understand when you say apostrophe, it is a contracted form of is. For example, I am. I'm telling this is, let's say let's give a name, Abdul. I'll write my name, Abdul's book. So what does this mean? This is Abdul's book mean the book belongs to Abdul. You might have studied this in grade 8 and stuff like that, but anyway, this is Abdul's book means this book belongs to Abdul. And I'm going to say something which came into your stuff here. For example, the Young Photographer Club. This is one. The second one is the Young Photographers Club. If I ask you to explain me the difference between these two, some of you might and some of you might not. But anyway, let's go through and revise this stuff once again. In this case, when you say the Young Photographers Club, the first one, okay, I'm going to just give you some number for this. It's going to be the first one, and this is going to be the second one, right? If you take the first one, it means there is only one photographer. So this denotes a singular possession, right? So you can say singular. And when you say the Photographers Club and the apostrophe is at the end, it means there are multiple people in this case, which means plural. Okay, so photographers means you have an apostrophe at the end of the word after s, it means you are denoting a plural or a subset or a multiple of people here. In this case, if you say Photographers Club, it means only one. You can see that here also, this is Abdul's book. That means this belongs to Abdul, one and only. There is only one person here. If you say this is children's book, it belongs to the children, isn't it? So get the idea correctly, right? You have started. The Young Photographers Club of Al Arafa has organized, okay. Now you might see at some places I have written ORGANISED. Here I have included ZED. Now SED and ZED, both of them are correct, and they form under different sort of dialects. When you say organized ZED, it comes under the American way of speaking, which is United States, you can see here. If it comes under the UK method, it will be ORGANISCD. Okay, what have they organized? An exhibition at the term. Then you will write it will be held on. Why are you telling it will be held on? It will be held is in future, right? Because the notice means you are going to do something in future. That is what we are telling. Will, and along with be verb, inshallah, later on will be when we are studying passive voice, active voice, and perfect tenses. I will be able to explain that to you as well. And I'm giving you the time frame. See, from and to, where? In the school main hall. And what is the message? All the teachers and students are invited to see the exhibition, right? And finally, I have signed the secretary of the Young Photographers Club. Good. I hope you got through this thing stuff. But remember, when you are writing, I have missed two things. I have forgotten to tell you who the chief guest is and what are the exhibits here. So would I be getting full marks for this? No. So I have to write who the chief guest is and what are the exhibits that are shown here. Where are you going to write that? Right. Now let's go to that again. So the chief guest. So I'm going to write that here. Do not write it after the message. Message is the last one. Before the message you can write the CHIEF, chief guest, GUEST. As it is in future, you will say will be. I'll just write some name. We can say Mr. Abdul Rahman. I'm just going to put my name here because I do not want to be caught with copyright infringement. I'm just going to write Mr. Abdul Rahman, the director of Fine Arts Academy, right? I'm just writing that. So which means when you are writing, for example, you will write something like Mr. Piyadas or Mr. Maharoof or something like that, and you will say who he is. It will be like the director of education in your zone. For example, director of education in Gampale zone, or you can say the ISA for English, or you can say the director of English in our zone, something like that. Okay, so I'm just giving you some free balling. Fine Arts Academy. Okay, and you have to tell them what the exhibits are. Okay, you can say the exhibits will be, and you can write photos of wildlife, because all of these things are given here, my dear children. I'm just ball rolling what is given here. Photos of wildlife, birds and waterfalls. That is enough. You don't have to go through a huge deal of stuff. You can say photos of wildlife, comma, birds and waterfalls, isn't it? Right? So that's how you are going to do it, and that is sufficiently enough for you to do. You don't have to go through a lot of stuff here. Now you have understood the concept, right? So basically the structure is similar to this, right? This is the structure. There is nothing added. If they tell you write about the chief guest, you will write it at the end of this, which is at the end of the main hall. Okay, at the end of the first paragraph. If they ask you write the exhibits, you will do the same thing. If they ask you who is the host of the event, right, I have to tell you that also. Some of the students, you might not know who a host is. For example, who is keeping or who is holding this meeting. They will ask you, I have seen that some students make this mistake. They will tell you include. I have seen this in different examination papers also, in model papers essentially. Include, they will give you some date, time and everything, also in the host of the event. So when you say host of the event, some of the students, you think that it means the chief guest, which it is not. Remember, it is not the chief guest. It is essentially, you should understand, the person who is conducting the event. For example, usually if you have an official meeting in your school, the host might be your principal or your vice principal. So who is the host? And you have complementary words, right? The host will be on the one side and the guest will be on the other side. So these are like two sides of a coin, like black and white. Host, guest. So remember, when you say host, it does not mean the guest, because the guest and the host are different people. The host is the person who is inviting the guest. For example, let's say that your relation, let's say one of your cousin brothers came to your house and you are treating him well, you are giving him food, you are caring for him, you are like very happy with him, and then you are discussing with him. He is a guest. So essentially your cousin brother in this case is your cousin brother is your guest, isn't it? And who is the host in this case? You are the host. You are the person who is caring for him, okay, fostering him in this. Host, they are not the same thing, right? 2017 about the English club, right? Let's go through the workshop on English for everyone to be held in the main hall of your school. Write a notice informing about the workshop. Include the following: the purpose, the date, time, venue, and the participants. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing here, which is quite simply. You might be able to do this as well. See, I'm just going to do some copy pasting here, and we are going to fill in the blanks in this case, right, my dear children? Right. I'm going to just copy this one and then paste it at the end, so it will be easy for us to go through the stuff. Right. I'm just going to remove some stuff here. The first blank, I'm just going to leave it as it is. There's nothing there. No Allarafa. I'm just going to keep it like, let's start with the first one. What does it say? The English club of your school, right? So this is what I'm going to do. The English club. If you write English club there, you know that you have to complete it here as well, right? So I'm just going to put it here. So of here we can write the English club, right? And I'm just going to put it on the right side, so as the alignment is okay. Right. English club of our school is there. Of Allarafa organized, has organized what? An exhibition? No, it doesn't happen. Organized a workshop on English for everyone. So I'm just going to just copy this and paste. A workshop on English for everyone. So that is what I'm going to do. A workshop I'm just going to type it off. A workshop on English for everyone, right? That's okay. It will be held on the date and those things. I'm not going to change. Let it be as it is in the school main hall. Now, are they asking about the chief guest? No. Are they asking about the purpose of the workshop? Yes. The date and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to write here. Instead of here, the why do you want to have this? That's why they are asking you. The purpose of the workshop is, you can write many purposes. I'm just writing one, is to improve the speaking skills of the students, right? Isn't it? You should have a purpose. Why are you organizing it? In this case, the workshop is to improve your speaking skills, right? And what's the next one that they're asking you? Purpose is okay, date, time, when is okay, participants. So who is going to come here? You have to write that. So this is not there. You don't need that. All the, do you want all the students there? No, because if you have all the students, it will be difficult. All the students of, let's give a grade 10 Are you inviting them or do you want them to participate? You are not inviting them because they will be participating. So you are telling them to participate. So you can't say you must come. No, you are not going to tell that. You will use this word, which is requested to participate. You don't say see the exhibition. To participate in what? You have to say that. Participate in what? Participate in the workshop. Right. So see, my dear children, this is what we have done so far. We have spoken about the notice as how the things are and how things go on, and you have told that what is there and how things come around. All the students of grade 10 are requested to participate in the workshop. And let's go through the question again so that we might refresh. The English club of your school has organized the workshop. So when you want to say the English club of our school, you can say the English club of whatever the school that you are from. I have written Al-Arafa Muslim Vidyalaya in Pahala Gurukul. That is where I teach right now at the moment. Has organized what? A workshop on English for everyone, that is given here, and it will be held on, you know that how it is written. I have given a date and I have given a time frame, a duration. If there is no time frame given here, you can say at. For example, if it is an opening ceremony, for example, let's say that you have invited somebody, a minister or somebody, to come and open a new building. Or let's say that you have built a sick room in your school right now and you are inviting somebody from outside who has donated that sick room to come and open it. So you don't say opening ceremony from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. No, you don't have an opening ceremony like that. Opening ceremony means he will come, he will cut the ribbon and open. So there will be a particular time, right? In that case, you will say not from to, you will say at. We have seen that in our example. Okay. And what else is there? Write a notice informing about the workshop. Include the following: purpose, date, time, participants. Right. Now, another thing I would like to ask you is you should be logical when writing notices. Now, you need only one class, which is grade 10, to participate, not the whole school. So if you think of using the main hall, do you think it's a good idea? No. So you can have a smaller place. So you can write auditorium. Auditorium. You can Google what auditorium is and you will find what auditoriums are. If you would like to, we can go to the website and see what auditoriums are in this case essentially. Right, let us start with auditorium so that we can see what auditoriums are in this case, so that we'll have quite a good idea. Have you seen this stuff in your school? And if you have a national school or a bigger, large school, you will have a stage somewhere, and these sort of places are what we call as auditorium. And we have small auditoriums also, and we have large auditoriums as well. Sometimes we have small auditoriums, sometimes we have large ones. So based on these auditoriums, you can go through the work. 2018 we did this, my dear children. In 2018, what you had to do, you had to write a note, and the way that you write a note was also taught to you, and you might have gone through that as well, so that it will be more familiar to you as to how to write notes and stuff like that. The 2019 activity, this one also we discussed in a previous episode, and also in this class we discussed that as well. So as children, I hope that you have got the best out of the stuff for today. You can use this for practices. Now this one I'm not going to go through very deeply, but we can go through the same format. For example, how we are going to start: notice the Environment Club of Al-Arafa Muslim Vidyalaya has organized a Shramadana campaign to clean the school premises post COVID-19. Okay, then you will write it will be held on, you can give a date, time, and you can say where, in the school premises, right? So you are telling all the parents, past pupils and grade 10 and 11 students are requested to participate. Before that you have to write, please bring the necessary equipments, isn't it? So it's not that tough. And finally you say secretary, the environmental club. Now what about this one? You had decided to participate in the all island art competition. Unfortunately you were absent the previous day. Previous day means yesterday or the day before, and you missed the announcement. You did not go and listen to the announcement because you were absent, right? So you are going to write a note to your friend, and the maximum is 50 words, and you are asking about the details, and you also inform him why you were absent and request him to send lecture notes. See, you want three things. First thing is you are asking details about the art competition, and then you are going to tell him why you were absent. You don't have to do it in the order. And as you were absent yesterday, you are going to ask him to send the lecture notes. For example, what is the homework that the teacher gave and those sort of things. So you can start, for example, dear Hajara or dear Ahmad, if you are like girl or boy, it doesn't matter. And I'm going to write, I was absent to school yesterday because I had a fever. Or you can say because I went to the hospital with my mother. Something like that. Whatever the reason, it doesn't matter. I heard, or you can say, I have decided to participate in the all island art competition. Can you send me the details? Okay. Also, can you send me the lecture notes? And then you are going to sign your name, which is Abdul in this case, right? So it's quite simple, as you have seen. It's not a big issue that you have to face on. It's quite simple. And I hope that you have understood most of the segments here, right? So this is the school auditoriums that you can find in different schools. And if you want more information, you can go to our website as usual, which is sites.google.com/WinHearts Academy, which will help you to understand our concepts and what sort of stuff that we teach here. So the resources and the videos are organized in a way that you can understand. So you can see our academy is here, and then I have given you all the tests, like test number 1, 2, 3. The short descriptions are here, and the graphs, essays, and also the past papers are given here for you to download. With your internet connection, you might be able to go and download those things as well. It's all there. And if you want, you can go for more videos. If you click more videos, in this case, it will take you to our YouTube channel, or there is also a one link here which might be handy with time. You will be able to see. So in that case also, you'll be able to see whatever the things that come here. For example, if you click more videos, you will be taken to WinHearts Academy's YouTube page. In that also, you can understand there are different teaching methods and different materials that you can learn. So using those things, you might be possibly able to understand different concepts. So let's recap what we did today, children. Today our focus was on test number 6 of GCE ordinary level paper. In test number 6, what we did was, we had to write a note or a notice. We had to write a note or a notice, right? So in 2016, as you can see, you have to write a notice. 17 is also a notice. In 18, it is a note. In 19, also a notice. You can see the marks here. The total marks that is given to the activity is 5, and you will get marks, 2 marks maximum for your content and 3 marks for your language. And we spoke what is content, what is language, and I told you specifically not to write a lot of things, just use around 40 to 50 words. That is more than enough. And if you want to write more, please don't. That's my advice to you here. If you want to write more, please don't do that, because writing more will not help you in any way in this case. So, and specifically if you want to learn more about our videos and stuff like that, you can visit our website, and then you can go through different stuff as well. Inshallah, I hope to see you once again in another session, my dear children. and the session as usual will be put to you previously. And thank you for joining us. I'm your host Abdul Rahman. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.